It's your first day in this Academy of Magic, and there's so much to see, you don't even know where to start. You're passing by a fountain of jet black ink, and you see a small crowd gathered around two lads having an insult competition. Their mockery is so poetic, so melodramatic, that you feel the wave of emotion surging through you, and you chuckle. "Get your wings!" You hear a voice behind you, and you turn to see a dryad in a wooden stand selling what appears to be small caterpillars. "The community flying race is tomorrow. Don't forget to get your wings." A student approaches and buys one of the creatures, which she eats, and you watch as grey leathery wings grow on her back. Before you can gasp in surprise, suddenly you're seeing 4 of them, now 6, and now 8. A rhino brushes past you, casting a green floating tube. That seems to halt the multiplication. "Sorry everyone, we're having a breach in reality. It's super resistant. We're doing our best to contain it, okay? I'm sorry, super sorry." This is just a morning in Strixhaven, a magical academy recently revealed by the Magic the Gathering world-building team. When they first announced this theme, many players, like myself, were worried they would just copy Hogwarts. And I mean, the white owl motif didn't help. So it came as a relief when seeing this world-building unveiled for the first time. I saw the one element, the guiding principle that pulled Strixhaven away from Harry Potter and from so many other narratives that also use the trope of the wizarding school. And I am here today to show you this element, to analyze it and the choices around it, and to learn as much as we can. Welcome to the World Building Tower, a series of videos in which I first introduce you to a fantastic piece of world building that exists out there in the world, and from that I extract an exercise that any creator can try at home. If you're a writer, if you're a DM, if you're a world building enthusiast, you can give it a shot, and at the very end I present my own take on the exercise as one example of what could come from this set of rules. As I mentioned, I was excited and scared when Magic the Gathering announced Strixhaven. Like many people, I was afraid that this was a ploy by Magic the Gathering's parent company, Hasbro, just to sell more products to people who like Harry Potter. It could have been a planned knockoff just for the sake of sales, and honestly, it wouldn't be the first time that Hasbro pulls out something like that. They're just not good. They're bad, and a couple of aspects of this world certainly hint at that. I mean, look at this sport they created. This is nothing but Quidditch. I can picture the executives forcing the creative team to add this completely unnecessary element just for the sake of audience resonance. I'm not sure if they did that, but you know, come on. But I was also thrilled because I love the trope of the School of Magic. And not only the unbeatable Hogwarts with its 4 charming houses and so many secrets, but I love the military discipline and competitive atmosphere of the Fulcrum. I love to imagine the library of the unseen university and the books that came to life because they're too close to too much magic. I love the different teachers in the island of Rogue and how their personalities match their styles of magic. Yes, that! Give me more of that! I want to picture myself walking those stony halls and struggling to learn plant growth while having an easy time with illusions. I want to join a band with instruments that can only be played by pyromancers. And I want to be sent to clean cockatrice manure when I get detention. I love this trope, and this is the good side of tropes, right? I get excited when I know it's gonna be there. And knowing that this world building team is one of the most honed, one of the most prolific teams on the planet, I was hoping they would bring something new, something interesting to this very used formula. And they did. In this video here, I'm not interested in exploring what Strixhaven did bad or could have done better. I think there's more narrative goodness, there's more tools we can add to our toolbox if we analyze what they did right. So I want to explore this one distinguishing element that makes Strixhaven so different from all those other magical schools I already mentioned. Okay, so here's the simple but brilliant idea. While everybody's writing their books and making their games about their magic schools, Strixhaven is a magic university. You go to school to have a general education, to expand your brain many different directions, and as this is general, you'll meet all sorts of people over there. You go to university to specialize, to learn a very particular craft that will expand your brain in a much narrower direction, but it will also allow you to go much deeper into it. You're learning the tools to be useful to society in a specific way. You will meet all sorts of people in your campus, but if you look at your faculty or even your major, you will see there's a lot of overlap between people's interests and aptitudes. So instead of a hat defining where you should go because of your personality or your destiny or whatever, you go to Strixhaven and you must choose how you want to specialize. What do you see in your own magical future? What sorts of skills? What style? You must weigh your capabilities and your passions. That is a wonderful concept and it opens so many world building possibilities. What courses are available? What courses are more or less popular? What sort of student generally goes to that faculty and that other one? And they populated this concept with 5 colleges that sort of point at a couple of courses and majors. And you can see the parallel between those and our real-world courses and majors, just with some magic added to them. Let's talk a little bit about each of them, just so you have a taste of what you can find over there. Lawhold is the College of Archaeomancy, the magical equivalent of archaeology and history. They explore the lore of the past, and using their enchantments, they're able to recreate ancient artifacts and have conversations with long-dead spirits to uncover their forgotten secrets. Prismari is the College of Elemental Arts, the magical equivalent of performing arts, theatre, music. It's performing arts, but everybody shoots lightning bolts out of their fingers, and they can harness the elements to make their presentations more dramatic or more touching. Quandrix is the College of Numeromancy, the magical equivalent of mathematics and physics. They use their magic to investigate the fundamental building blocks of reality, like patterns, fractals, and perfect shapes. And through their magic, they can apply this knowledge and create novel spells. Silver Quill is the College of Word Magic, the magical equivalent of creative writing, communications, and psychology. They're interested in using their magical prowess to move people, to lead, to inspire, to intimidate. This is where you find the magical equivalent of a debate club, but your argumentation can be backed by spells. Witherbloom is the College of Life and Death, the magical equivalent of medicine, biology. They learn the essence of flesh and bark and guts and bacteria and bone, how they tick. Their magic is about manipulating the line between life and death. See what I mean when I say magic university? Those styles of magic, they're not general, they are not multi-purpose. They point at magical careers one could have, or magical research one could conduct to expand current practice. And that's just the 5 colleges we've been introduced to. Nothing stops Strixhaven from having many more we just haven't seen yet. Which brings me to my world building exercise. Let's send our application to our magic university and start contributing to magical capitalism or whatever. I introduced you to the 5 colleges that Strixhaven has given us thus far, and I was careful enough to also point out the parallels with real-world faculties and colleges and courses that they kinda hint at. But higher education is vast, much broader than the few parallels I created. So here's the challenge. Can you create a magical university course that exists in our world, but not yet in Strixhaven? Evidently, the first part of this exercise is for you to choose a course, and avoid the ones that I'm showing on screen right now, because you might end up creating something too similar to what's already there. And you must make it magic. How does magic alter or expand this course you selected? What sort of spell or discipline exemplifies this new Strixhaven college? Once this is figured out, let's make our world building a bit more tangible. Let's populate our colleges with 3 professors, and I want to know exactly what sort of class they teach. And with that, we go to the last part of the video, which is my own take on this exercise. As always, folks, not better, not worse than anybody, it's just one example. It's good to give examples. And if you want to try your hand at the exercise, I would invite you to post your results in the comment section of YouTube. There has been a wonderful exchange between world builders over there, and there's so many cool ideas. Who knows, you might end up inspiring someone. Dear first years, welcome to Wisconfiture, the College of Gastromancy. We train the top mage chefs and the best dessert summoners in the multiverse. If you came here seeking the mastery of flavor, of texture, of color, of presentation, you will receive an ideal education. But before you get to the more nuanced aspects of our craft, you must prove your worth. You will chop, you will fry, you will decorate, you will learn how to bake a dragon. Here's Professor Nemi. She coordinates the infusion laboratory, where you learn how to imbue your food with your life experiences, starting with the single memory muffins and ending with full course entire childhood meals. This is Professor Brodk. He's responsible for the forms and shapes department. You will learn how to multiply food to feed entire populations, or just to make huge dishes small and portable, while still carrying all that taste and calories. Lastly, here's Professor Gills, Dean of Flavor. They can make food so tasty that you might go into an accidental astral projection. They can also teach you how to make milkshakes that taste like fried fish, but fried fish so good that you will drink every last drop of it. Here in Wisconfiture, we expect your diligence, your discipline, your excellence, and above all, your good taste. That's my contribution to Strixhaven. And before I go, I wanted to share an idea with you, a big idea I've been spending a lot of time with. Especially you, who remains until the end of the video, who's engaged. I really want your opinion. So I started this world building series, and I love it. I feel I'm growing as an artist by exploring those themes and grabbing all this narrative goodness from all of those worlds. But world building is not the only piece of the writing artistic process that I wanted to explore. So I was thinking, what's the next step? What's the next formula? What's the next thing I wanted to delve into? And I came with a name for a next series called Whimsical Characters, where I can explore characters like Howl's Moving Castle Turnip Head, or Terry Pratchett's The Death of Rats, and those whimsical, sort of weirdly endearing characters. And I wanted to know if you think if that's a good idea or not. And also, if you have any characters for me to explore. What do you think of that? Do you think it's a good idea? So here I leave you for today. I hope that was cool, and I really hope to see your results in the comment section below. I love seeing people's world building. Oh, such great ideas that have been popping up. And to my patrons, as always, thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't believe I have patrons with such a small channel. Your support humbles me. Thank you so much. And I'll see you next time, folks. Ciao.